Culturally Clueless.
Salam, guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of Culturally Clueless. And this week, we're going to talk about Trump and Putin's meeting, Erdogan's and Zelensky's meeting. We're going to talk about football or soccer and Malcolm X and much, much more. So stay tuned. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, wherever you're tuning in from. And oh my God, do I have to be scared of your question? I have to ask this all the time because it might be very unpredictable.
No, you don't have to be scared. Actually, this time is not like an uncomfortable question or a silly question. It's a question that came to me when I saw the new documentary release in Netflix. By the way, we're boycotting Netflix about Gabby Petito. Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard all the way over there the story of Gabby Petito. This is a beautiful young lady. She used to live in the van and travel all around the United States with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And on the pictures on Instagram, it looked like a beautiful couple living the best life, so in love, so healthy. And months later, she disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And after a deep investigation, she found out that she was killed. And who killed her?
Her boyfriend.
The boyfriend, the dream guy in all the pictures.
When in these situations, I saw that over 80%, it's always the husband, the boyfriend.
Yeah, so he broke a lot of people's heart. But to me, what I struggle with is that people had the opportunity to react and maybe save her because they went in a gas station, right? And people saw her getting slapped by this man and dry off. And when the police stopped them because someone called the police, they saw her crying with the face red. And they let them leave, basically. So my question is, if you see this, I know that we're in a world where normally everybody mind their business, but if you see someone, I'm not gonna even put gender, getting a slap in front of you, and it's like a domestic violence situation, would you intervene? Would you get involved? Because in this situation, I was a young girl, so my protective instinct would come and say, no. I would. I think that I would have intervened and say, no, you are not going anywhere. I'm calling your parents. You're not going with this guy anywhere.
She?
Yeah. I think she was very young, to be honest. I don't quite remember, but 19, 20, 21, maybe.
So do we know how he killed her?
I think he strangled her. I'm not sure. I need to do. I just saw it.
How old is this story? Is it like a news story? No.
It's 2021. Happened in 2021.
So now you're asking me if I would intervene.
Yeah. What would you do if you see him?
Oh, I'm going to be very honest. I actually would have a lot to say to this, but I'm just going to keep it. I'm not going to get too personal because that would take a lot, and it would make me very So would I intervene? So there was two situations I intervened. And one time that was a guy. So I was walking with my friend and there was a guy, and he stopped his car. He like really like pumped the brakes hard, and then he stopped, and he slapped his wife or girlfriend, whatever it was, and they had a baby as well in the back. And at that time, I was already like, I was, let's say, emotionally challenged. And it really, really upset me. So I did get involved. My friend didn't want to. I did want to. So I kind of like got in front of the car. And then he started yelling at me, which was good because then we could at least get him off her while my friend called the police. That was the one time.
That was great. Thank you for interviewing.
Well, what are you thinking me? But the second time went a little bit different. When I used to live in London, there was this couple that was next door. They were older. It was, we could hear, like, the woman was really nice. Sometimes you would see her, she was really, really nice. And her husband was extremely nasty. And one time we could hear how he was beating her, and it troubled me so much I wanted to call the police. And then I was told if we do that, then because it was done before, and because she is so scared, she basically was upset that the police was called and was kind of like defending her husband, saying it was nothing.
No way.
Yeah. So in these kind of cases, what do you do? And this happens a lot. So should people intervene? I think always, but sometimes, and this takes me back to another case that happened here, which is very, very unfortunate. There were two guys fighting, as you said, no gender, right? A third guy intervened. Somebody had a knife, somebody was stabbed, and one of the three guys died. Now, the person who intervened to stop this is the one who took the hit, and he's in jail. While the other guy who stabbed the guy is not.
No way.
Yeah. So this is a very, I don't know what to say to this, to be honest.
But there were no, when that happened, when no camera, the capture what happened, like to see who was involved? No?
Well. I'm going to say this, since it's 3 foreigners, investigations sometimes go very differently. And I'm not just saying this because I'm accusing anyone and everyone of racism, but sometimes it's just what it is. And honestly, again, this is something that I feel is very, I think from a moral standpoint, you should always intervene. You know what? Is this not the same, like, let's say you have a friend, right? And she's being cheated on. And you find out and you tell her. In the end, you're the dumb one because they make up after all the drama, and you're looking stupid because now you're the person that instigated all this.
But it's not the matter how you look. Like, the matter is like you saw something and you did something. Like for example, your neighbors. She can be upset as much as she wants. So like, I'm gonna do what I can do to make sure you're still breathing the next day. You see what I mean? You can be upset. But if I feel like you're on rest.
But these people are scared, Maria. Like this guy was overly nasty. I remember a few situations, and he was really nasty. He was really, really, the way that he was behaving was not normal. So I think she was scared. And when people become codependent on whoever they're with, it's a problem. And a lot of people are codependent and they don't even realize it.
Yeah, but also send the message to the abuser. So like, I'm watching, I'm here, I'm watching, and I'm gonna do something. So you see, so he doesn't feel like he's without consequence.
They don't
you know
care.
What I mean?
They don't care. They don't care. They see it as a challenge. They see it as a challenge.
Like I said, and it's my right to call, right? If I feel like it's danger, I'm gonna call 100 times. I have to. As you know, I don't have problem calling 911.
I just want to say this. Unfortunately, what happened to this Gabby girl?
Yeah.
This is not a one-off.
No, it's not.
It's definitely not. So
no, and yes, that's what the policies. You see something, you had to say something and do something. Because a lot of unfortunately loss happened because people are afraid to talk or afraid to do something.
Yeah. You know what? I actually want to do something, and that is, I want to. We had a few comments about your question last week, right? With your online relationships, and I just want to say this, right? People need to let people live. I know, like a few comments were saying, how could you?" and stuff like that. But let's not judge people if that's something that they're into. Maybe some people are only capable of having online relationships. There's few people who are with people that they apparently never see, and they're quite happy with it. You know?
Whatever makes them happy.
Right? We just said for us, it's not an option. Unless, Maria, you changed your mind.
No.
Did you?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
You didn't change your mind. Okay. Cool. Okay. What are we talking about today? We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. What are we starting with?
Let's talk something.
There is a list, Maria.
There is a list.
There is a list.
Let's talk about the kiss that everybody thought that was very meaningful. I think that was offensive. Because so this week the hostess and prisoner award were exchanged, the release, and something happened that shocked everybody. Israeli prisoner of war kissed the head of two of our resistance members group. He kissing my husband.
Disclaimer. Maria is joking. Maria is in a happy relationship. Maria is, am I lying? Maria is not
Just joking.
Yeah, she's not considering to marry any resistance fighter. She is quite happy where she is with the person she is with.
Amen. Yeah, but elaborate.
And it's not an online relationship.
No.
Okay. We gotta stop joking, you know.
Okay, yeah, elaborate. This is a very important news.
I need to elaborate. Man, he was very hurt by this. I thought it was amazing. So, as we all know, in Arab culture, this is a sign of respect when you kiss someone on the forehead or on the head. However, actually, you told me in the Latino community it's the same or it's similar.
Yes, a kiss and the forehead is a sign of respect and love. Yes.
What does it mean if somebody kisses your hand?
I think the same. Depends.
Whose hand?
Depends who's kissing it. It's a complete stranger. That would be weird.
Oh my God. I think this is the hand thing is one of the weirdest things ever. I'm not gonna lie.
But it also means respect, no, because I think the Catholic people kiss the Pope hands, right? Okay. So I think it means basically the same in many cultures, just respect.
Very much so. Very much so. So I thought it was very amazing because of all the propaganda that we're getting, you know, and all the stuff that we're hearing about how the hostages are treated and stuff. And it's always nice. We had the 3 girls come out a few weeks ago. One of them wanted to return to Gaza immediately. The other one, a couple of days later, wanted to return. I mean, of course, you can excuse it with the Stockholm syndrome. But to be honest, after I think a Stockholm syndrome, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever. But if you have this Stockholm syndrome, I feel like this is something different, because here we have a genocide. We have your own people bombing you, being aware, fully aware that you are there, but they're still going at it. So if these people protect you, give you to eat, give you to, like something to wear, make sure that you're okay, make sure that you're protected, make sure that your health is as good as possible, because, when you prohibit aid from coming in, then obviously the hostages ain't eating. If you contaminate the water, that means the hostages also don't have clean water. But again, we do know that the Hannibal Directive was used. So, people only as people are only as valuable as you need them to be, I guess. So, yeah, this is what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, I think during these 15 months, 16 months, it's very clear who actually respect life and who doesn't. And besides, they have been protecting these people with their own bodies. A lot of testimony has said that they have been protected when the Israeli bombarded the whole Gaza Strip. These prisoners of war were protected by the resistance group. And another thing that happened, they show how much our resistance protects and respect life, is when they exchange or return the bodies of the Vives family. They were in their own casket, very respectful, with all the police, the ambulance, clean, organized, and a nice ceremony, because they respect who they were, right?
Yeah, but
And our people, when our returns in blue bags, with missing organs, with missing skin, draw and those, how you call them? Those fossil, when they put all the bodies together and just dump it
mass grave.
or on the.
Okay. You mean when they transport them? Well, yeah, they put them in blue bags, put them in a van, and just
Draw I say public grave.
That's a mass grave
The
where they
mass
put all
grave,
the
yeah.
people together. If that's what you, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big difference, and you can tell, like, who is the bad guy in here.
There is a big difference. And again, around this, there is a lot of propaganda, as it's been said that they've been strangled to death and not blown to pieces, which is absolutely insane, especially when you consider, using white phosphorus, releasing gas into the tunnels, releasing, dropping certain bombs with carbon monoxide, which kills people even being hundreds of meters away. So you cannot expect to use all of these heavy, weaponry and whatnot, and for people to not be affected, and for the hostages to be okay. Like, you can protect only as much as you can in that circumstances. Certain things you cannot avoid.
السلام عليكم مرحبا. شكرا لكتاب السام على كل المعاملة الكويسة.
شكرا للأكل والشرب والملابس.
شكرا للشباب اللي كانوا يحفظوا علينا ودير بالو علينا من كاسف.
وإن شاء الله يكون الكل يوم سعيد وأحسن يوم وكلنا نكون بخير.
يوم 25/1/25.
Yeah, they have suspicions that the hostage went on the ground tunnels. And what did they do? They tried to flood the tunnels. Who does that? Like, if the people that you care is there, why would you harm the place that you know they are there? Like, they throw bombs in the tunnels. They bombard the whole Gaza Strip when you know that there was a possibility that the people are there, and you didn't care.
Yeah. So this is the thing. And then with the hostages as well, with the returned bodies, there was criticism. Why would the people in Gaza allow the kids to come and watch this? Apparently, allegedly, they were dancing on stage. Did you see any kids dancing on stage?
I did not see.
Exactly. Well, what we did see is people on boats taking their kids to watch Gaza being blown to pieces. What we also did see is kids that are wandering around without any parents or families or anybody for that matter, just some strangers that picked them up on the way in Gaza, because all of the people are displaced. The aid wasn't allowed in. They were supposed to get 60,000 mobile homes and 200,000 tents. The weather is absolutely insane at the moment over there. So everything is kind of like, flooded by rain or super cold, and people are extremely displaced. When these things take place, like the hostage exchange, where do you expect these kids that are just homeless and have nowhere to go because you displaced them, where do you expect them to go?
Exactly.
So...
And there is a tradition, I think you can talk more about it than I do. The giving candy is not per se a sign of celebration, right? It's just a custom.
You know what? It's just weird for me having to comment on all of these weird accusations and this is where I feel we're going wrong all the time, having to justify and explain everything while these people don't even give us the most simple response, like respond to the most simple answer, which is, why are you doing all of this, and why is it so, why why are you guys allowing, like the West that is allowing this genocide to happen? But we have to always defend ourselves, defend our religion. We have to swallow our feelings. We cannot speak on how we see things, how we feel. We just have to accept all the attacks. We have to swallow all the arguments people make, people being totally like inconsiderate or just discriminatory and racist, whether it's to Arabs, whether it's to any Arabized people or just Muslims on a whole. And that's why I feel like I don't need to. I'm sick of explaining. I'm really sick of that.
You're right.
I'm really
sick
of
because
that.
It's the hypocrisy behind it. Like nothing justify October 7th, but somehow October 7th justify everything.
Yeah. So
we make zero sense. And we have a testimony, a statement of one of the hostages. You want to?
I wanted to read it. No, I forgot. No, you just reminded me. Oh no, I didn't.
We still have time.
No, I didn't get it on my laptop now. Yeah, you want to read it?
Me to read?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
That would be crazy if I couldn't. I wouldn't know how to answer.
I went to a different app, that's why. So this is the statement of the Israeli prisoner Alexander Torbanok, who was released either yesterday. So he started. Your kindness has been engraven in my conscience. During the 490 days that I lived among you, despite the aggression, the crimes that you were subjected to, I learned the meaning of a true manhood. Your pure heroism and respect for humanity and values. You were the free messenger, and I was the prisoner, and you were the protectors of my life. You took care of me like a caring father would take care of his children. You preserved my health, my honor, my grace, and didn't allow hunger or humiliation to touch me, even though I was in the clutch of the men who fought for the land and survived the rise, and who commit the most heinous and genocide against the people by the government of my country. I did not know the meaning of manhood until I saw it in your eyes. I did not realize the value of sacrifice until I lived among you. Until I met death with a smile, I resist with my naked body the enemy who had the means to kill and destroy. No matter how eloquent or outspoken I am, I will not be able to find words to reflect your values and express my astonishment and admiration for your sublime morality. Is this how your religion teach you to behave towards the prisoners? What a great religion this is, that elevates you to such a sublime level that all human rights laws and protocols for fighting the enemy collapse in his presence. In the most difficult moment, you show justice and mercy, not with false slogans, but with realities. We lived through, and you did not give up on your principles, even in the darkest conditions. Believe me, even is a return here, I will only return as a Mojave in your ranks, because I learned the truth from your people, and I understood that you are not only the owners of the land, but also the principle and just cause.
Yeah, this statement really touched me, and this is why I actually wanted to read it, and then I went and forgot. Oh my God, this is so bad. I totally forgot. Yeah,
No,
this
it's
really
okay. I
touched
remember.
me. I think this was one of the most powerful statements, and there is a bunch of statements from the past that was made by the released war prisoners. And there is just a difference between the most moral army and people who defend their land and their dignity. And there is a difference between the only democracy in the Middle East and those who defend their land.
Yeah.
So,
And this, like you said, this was a very poetic and beautiful statement. But we also had a statement from previous prisoners when they say that they protect with their own bodies, when they make sure that they have clothes, they make sure that they were clean. Our resistance groups are not the terrorists here. Please open your eyes and search it. The information is out there. Now and this time you can find the truth if you wanted to.
the end. Absolutely. So, we're not a sports podcast. We're not, but we have to talk about sports here, and we have to mention a few things, and sometimes we have to also highlight when people do the right thing. And there is one thing for me that stood out, and that really kind of like, this whole oh my gosh, that word. Okay. So they say, the FIFA says sports, or there is no space for politics in sports when it comes to soccer. And that's what they say when it comes to sports in general. So you're not supposed to make any political statements or any political have any political ambitions when it comes to sports. But some people, they still go against it because it's the right thing to do, because sports went against it. The world went against it in the past 16 months, and even before that. Because from the Eurovision Grand Contest, some contest, whatever it's called, this competition that is yearly, where all these countries are competing with each other. First of all, it's very interesting how it is a European thing, but Israel is part of it, although they claim to be the only democracy in the Middle East. I don't know why they participate in a European competition. And they excluded Belarus and Russia because of the situation between Russia and Ukraine. But they did not exclude Israel, although many people were in uproar about all the atrocities and everything they're committing. And so same thing is with FIFA. But then we have the Celtics, a Scottish team. They've been standing strong, 10 toes down with Palestine for the longest. So what did they do this time, Maria?
The best thing. They put like a big banner that say, give Israel the red card. And they wave the Palestinian flag. and they chant for Palestine, and that was beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful. And it took me back to 2022 in Qatar when the Moroccan team always scored a goal, and they scored a good few that year. They always raised the Palestinian flag. And that, I feel like, got a lot of people to question why they're doing it, and got a lot of people intrigued. And a lot of people who had no idea and no clue what's happening in Palestine looked it up, when we did a little bit of research and found out what's going on and why this was so important for the Moroccan team. And Moroccan soccer stands strong with Palestine. They have a song. They had like a stadium of 100,000 people singing that song. I don't know whoever created it, but that was like a moment. And this was way before October 7. For those who feel like history started on October 7, no, it didn't. That's another thing. But yeah, so we have to highlight these things because these things don't happen often. But also when it comes to sport, we have some more. One good thing and one crazy thing. Which one should we go first?
I think the best thing, the Asian Football Conference.
Yeah, the Confederation, the Asian Football
Confederation.
Yeah. What did they do? They connected with the Palestinian Soccer Association, and they are doing something amazing.
They're gonna build a hospital in Gaza.
Yes, a field hospital.
And that's amazing because, as you know, Israel destroyed every single hospital, shut down all the hospitals in Gaza. So now these beautiful people are gonna build a new one in the Gaza Strip.
Absolutely. And they arrested the only doctor standing, and that was Dr. Hassam Abu Sofia. He was at the only hospital that was still functioning until they killed his son, they killed everybody, and then he continued working on autopilot, I suppose. And they arrested him in December. For the longest, we didn't know what's going on. People were making a bunch of noise about it online. Now we're finding out he was severely tortured, he was starved, and this is statements that his family members made, but it was also confirmed by his lawyer. He was allowed to see a lawyer. He was taken to City Taman. We know that prison where these soldiers raped another man from Gaza a few months back.
Another doctor.
Exactly. And they tortured him so badly and that he died. So yeah.
Also, there were leaks of videos.
Yeah.
Of the doctors being interrogated in such a disrespectful way by these terrorists of the Israel. And
the only in the Middle East, right?
The only, I don't know, I'm not going to say, the occupiers. So, but also, he's supposed to be been released with 600 other prisoners. But Netanyahu stopped the release because what happened in the stage, it was their fault.
That is the lamest excuse. But hey, what can we do? Lame is lame. Oh my gosh, this is literally the lamest. There is no, not even a tiny trace of intelligence with this. It's just super petty. And you can tell it's a game. So let's move on to another guy who likes to play games as well. We're talking about Trump here. He met Putin in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. And it looks like they're kind of trying to basically collaborate, work together, do something, make up, so to speak, because Putin and Biden did not really get along. The Biden administration was very much so standing with Zelensky in Ukraine, while Trump is a little bit different there. But now the Europeans feel left out, so they had the security conference, and they feel like all the tariffs that Trump is putting on the EU is too much and it's too crazy. And basically they're saying, well, if his motto is America first, ours should be Europe unites. that's what happens when you lick America's boot for too long. I mean, these people, this is the crazy part, and I said that before, and I always say that to people. It's very, very dangerous to, route for any kind of country, because as much as they're beefing, at some point they're going to figure it out and be friends again. It's just how it works.
Yeah, but I mean, unpopular opinion. And you know that I'm not a fan of Trump at all.
Mm-hmm.
But when these European people say, "Oh, Trump is meeting about Ukraine and let us all out," why didn't you do anything? Why do you have to wait for America to react or to meet or to try to find an arrangement or fix the situation?
Okay. I can explain this. I'll explain it later, but I'll say this to keep it short. When you have an allyship with someone and they ask you not to, because you've been, friends for a very long time, and you've been basically doing everything that this other side or this other party wanted you to do, and he was benefiting from it. It's just very interesting. And then let's see, maybe he has a plan. Maybe he wants to take Russia's oil and sell it back to the Europeans, so they don't have to buy it from Russia but through India anymore. I really have no idea. It's just very interesting to watch. I mean, honestly, we're not like no political experts or anything. We're just watching and giving commentary and opinions, and we are researching things. But this is, to me, very interesting. I'm really, really intrigued to see where this is going.
I understand, but in my opinion, they shouldn't stop waiting for America to do any kind of movement and try to resolve the issues in-house.
Well,
This is your continent.
No, well, it's not even that. It's America is not trying to fix problems for Europe. It's more like America is fixing problems or fixing the relationship with Russia for themselves, and Europe just feels left out. That's what it is more. Europe felt like, what do you mean? We've been like with you all this time, and we've been supporting Ukraine together, and we stood against Russia, and we stopped, purchasing oil from them or gas or whatever it is that they get. It's not even oil, it's gas, I think. Sorry. So I don't know, so it's just more like they feel left out, that America didn't have a seat at the table.
No, I understand that, but the part on they said, like, we were supporting Ukraine together. Why have you been supporting? This is going on for so many years. How long is this gonna last? You're supporting, but you're not helping. Who are you supporting?
Well,
you're not helping these people.
For them, they are helping. Obviously, there's different things that there's resources, there's many different reasons for that. But what's so interesting about all of this is also Erdogan, the president of Turkey, he had to sit down with Zelensky in Ankara because he is supporting Ukraine's membership in NATO. And I thought that was also interesting to mention for people to look into. Turkey is a very interesting administration. Things that they do, things that they don't do, and things that they say, and it's very interesting. They all say something and do something completely different. Yeah.
No. So what I hear is that they're supporting governments, not people. Exactly. That's what I hear.
Exactly. It's all about themselves. We have Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv was on fire.
Oh my God. But the outcome of that investigation was the highlight of my week.
Really? Tell me.
No, 2 highlights of the week, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We get to that. We're going to get to that other highlight.
Okay, that one. Okay.
Yeah, that is, oh my gosh. I can't
wait for that one because poetic justice.
Absolutely. Okay,
this one. Let's talk about Tel Aviv.
Yeah. So what happened? My gosh.
There were explosions in 2 buses.
Mm-hmm.
Someone came in the bus, left something like explosions, and the buses went on fire. And everybody has, was it was the resistance. They were blaming Arabs as always. But after a long investigation, guess who did it?
No. Themselves, like always, right? If
Two Israelis were behind these explosions.
Interesting, right? Right. So they are arrested.
I think it's beautiful.
They are arrested, but we don't even at this moment we don't even know what is gonna happen. Probably nothing, because it's the same thing with the soldiers when they did what they did to that one doctor. There wasn't any repercussion. Quite the opposite.
Yeah.
It was Knesset members and civilians who protested against them being arrested.
Yeah, when they did what they did to the soldier, they caught on camera. They always broke in a civil war because of this. Like,
yes,
what?
They did.
And that was insane. And this one also, I say beautiful. I just want to disclaimer very fast. No one got hurt, no victims, no one was injured.
Exactly.
Thank God. So, but the culprits were their own people.
And since we're there, and I know we actually left that place, and then we did like a little tour around some other places like Scotland and whatnot, but we came back here. I just want to mention the West Bank real quick, and we're not even going to stay too long on this here, but we have to talk about Jenin. We have to talk about them, displacing thousands, 10,000s of people in Jenin, and them like making it almost unlivable in the sense of electricity gone, water gone. The homes are being blown up. They're being bulldozed.
We're in the Jenin refugee camp, which has been turned into a war zone by the Israeli army. Entire lengths of roads are destroyed, entire neighborhoods are leveled. And you can very clearly see that this is just a destruction of civilian infrastructure. There is no military or security purpose to this. This is just an ethnic cleansing.
These people don't know where to go, what to do, or anything. There's like it's kind of like the beginning, but just in a slower way, I feel, than Gaza. And Netanyahu said that they're going to direct some of their attention, and we all know, like military attention, and we all know what it means, onto the West Bank, and which they have been doing. The violence from the settlers and from the military, and also unfortunately from the PA, has been increasing. The arrests have been increasing. The destruction of land, homes, businesses, vehicles, everything you can possibly imagine has been increasing. And also, we want to highlight Tul Karim. Tul Karim is the camp in particular as well. No electricity, no water. They are working on making it very similar to Jenin. There is obviously clashes because there is some resistance, but again, you have a powerful army, and you have your own, so to speak, administration, the PA, fighting resistance who have no professional tools.
إذا جيش الاحتلال يمنع الناس من الدخول إلى مخيم جنين بعد أن علموا بأن الارتباط نسق لهم للدخول إلى مخيم جنين على دوار الحصان. جنود الاحتلال تمركزوا في هذه المنطقة ومنعوا المواطنين من الدخول إلى مخيم جنين 30 يوما، وجيش الاحتلال الإسرائيلي موجود في مخيم جنين، وهؤلاء المواطنين ليس معهم أي أغراض شخصية. اليوم الارتباط الفلسطيني بلغهم بأنهم بإمكانهم الدخول الساعة 12 من منطقة دوار الحصان نحو مخيم جنين، ولكن جنود الاحتلال الآن يمنعونهم من الدخول.
There's basically a military against the people. These people, they have no weapon, no arms, and they are mostly women and children.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's a tank versus women and children.
Absolutely.
They're destroying everything. They're destroying the street. They're destroying infrastructure. They're displacing people, don't giving them a place to live. So these violations are like unspeakable, and nobody's doing anything. That's the worst part.
Exactly that. So it's very important for people who don't know to also make sure that to look at Jenin, look at Tulkarem, to look at the West Bank on a whole, because it's also happening in Nablus. It's also happening, in the villages and literally everywhere. I'm not gonna name all the cities and villages, but So, with that said, we're gonna definitely come to this is my highlight of the week, and the only this one for me is even bigger than Tel Aviv one. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Right? This one is, oh my God. And this is the thing, karma from God is everything. So let's talk.
And again, we are not celebrating people getting hurt. It's just the poetic justice behind it.
What I'm celebrating is when hypocrisy backfires, because we've been living in a hypocritical society. And actually, I've been talking about this for a good few numbers of years, like maybe 3, 4, 5 years, or no. Since COVID, actually, I've been talking about how much this society became so hypocritical and how much this victim culture has taken over. And now I know who invented victim culture. I was never really sure about it, but now I know. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different episode, I guess.
Just to summarize, so these Israeli men that live in Florida shot 17 times to a father and a son, thinking that they were Palestinian. But after the investigation, turns out to be Israelis based in Florida. And these Israelis, they were shot, though the other person shot them, but turns out to be another Israeli.
Ari Rive was shot in the shoulder. He spoke to us with help from his cousin to translate.
He put the window down from the driver's seat and just blasted them. He tried shooting them from the back of their car. Bullet went through right next to him, right next to his ear, because he was the driver. He's saying God gave him life as a gift, and he's still alive, so he's happy.
Amazing, right?
I just love it.
Amazing, Tamara. Like, seriously. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? And this is the thing. This is the paranoia. This is anti-Semitic.
That's, I don't know how you call it. Anti-Semitic. I don't know.
It's very interesting.
No, and the worst part is like you would think that after that experience, after realize how wrong both party went, they will reflect and say like, what are we doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. So yes, this is a very interesting story. We have to stay definitely tuned to see what's going to happen and what actually his, what's the consequence going to be.
Well, what consequences?
I don't know. I mean,
they're gonna leave all confused.
How he shot his own people 17 times.
Yeah, but what did they say after? Instead, they reflect and try to become a better person.
They will never. They will never.
They blame Palestinians, right? They say that horrible phrases against Palestinians. Even though they went through this, that you would think there would be an eye-opener.
Yeah.
No, they didn't change. They're still repeating the same hateful speech.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's move on to Burkina Faso, where one of my very favorite politicians is in control, and that is Ibrahim Traore. He is so amazing. He should be a role model for everyone. I can never stop emphasizing on how much of greatness this man encompasses altogether. So in 2020 and 2022, there was a coup done in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. It was the militaries who took over the country and basically kicked off the presidents. And ever since the leaders of these countries are the military leaders. And Ibrahim Traore happens to be one of those in Burkina Faso. And so far, he's been working so hard and so much for his country. And he seems to be a very humble man. He doesn't have a fancy car like most of these presidents. And when I say this, I'm not even talking about the Western presidents. I'm talking about those sellouts in Africa, those corrupt leaders and presidents who think they're achieving something by taking money from the West and basically, hurting their own people. I can't say anything worse. I wanted to say a whole different other word, but let me not. So these people who come to these, conventions and conferences and congresses with their designer suits and their tailored, customized suits. He doesn't do that. He shows up in his military gear with gloves on and everything. And he's absolutely amazing. Every week, there is another assassination attempt on him by the West. Maybe even by the West, but through other people, through his own people. It differs, I guess. And he's still standing strong, and he was very firm, like Niger and Mali, kicking out the French, because they definitely did so much, and they cost like so much in Africa on a whole. But same like the UK, same like, America, like everybody basically. But France was a very, very instrumental in Africa, and to be honest, still is. So he's trying to build up the economy. We all know that Africa in the future will be flourishing, although it's like at the moment it's going through a lot of mess. Also, again, a lot of destabilization caused by the West. And just for those people, Israel is part of it as well. When we look at the Congo and the UAE, we're not going to forget the UAE and Sudan. We're not going to forget, there's the Israel also meddling in Somali affairs in Somalia. So there's a lot going on over there. And we can see what's happening in South Africa as well. Mali is also being destabilized through all the rebel groups. It's just a mess, but it's going to get better. And this is what Ibrahim Traore is working towards. His latest venture is a medical park. Like, he wants to produce and manufacture medicine in Africa. He wants to start, reducing the need for the West. He doesn't want to keep getting products or depending on the West, I should say. He wants to reduce all of that. He wants to, be more self-sufficient as they can be and should be with all the resources that they have and everything that they can do. So he has the land. He secured the land for that medical park where everything is going to be set up. He has the funds for it. And he's basically working on it. And I think it's going to be something very, very amazing when you have on the continent medicine manufactured and produced that you can sell to the other countries. And I think it's so monumental, and I felt we needed to mention this.
And before people start saying, "Oh, you blame everything to the West, you blame everything on Israel."
I do. Yeah. Hands up. Yep, it's me.
It's not. It's not without reason. Like, a quick example: Israel is one of the biggest exporters of diamonds in the world. But guess what? There is no diamonds in Israel. How that can be? Where is that the diamonds come from? The Congo. See, these people steal the resources for the what you call them third world countries or undeveloped countries and use them for themselves.
Absolutely.
Those diamonds come from the Congo. And the same with other resources the West needs, like lithiums and other minerals that is not in their places or the location. So they steal it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not, it's like, it's all the fault. There is reason, there is a study. If you check, if you read a little bit, you can find that everything is linked together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's a little disclaimer there.
Yeah, we need a lot of disclaimers with this episode, I think, like especially when we talk about all of this, because people don't like us to talk about all of this, and particularly people don't like us to talk about
No, but that's the point of this podcast, that we are saying what others don't want to hear or don't want to say.
Don't want to say. Don't want us to say. But I don't know. There is now my last point, and this is also something that I'm very, very... I don't even know how to say this. So this man that we're going to talk about next is one of my very personal heroes. Malcolm X, or later known as Haj Malik al-Shabazz, was someone who was very, very important and monumental in the Black movements. He reverted in prison. He then joined the Nation of Islam for a while. That was led by Elijah Muhammad. He saw some things he didn't like. He decided, or he was invited to Mecca, and he saw a whole different side of Islam. He was fighting racism hard. He was, I'm not going to go off on a tangent and explain who Malcolm X was. He was just a great person who had his very own way to fight racism, to combat racism. And he did what he did, and a lot of people listened to him. But particularly when he came back from Mecca, he changed a little bit how he was approaching things. And he did it in an amazing way, to be honest. And unfortunately, he was assassinated. And this is like February 2021. So we're recording on a Sunday. This is going to be airing on Tuesday, inshallah. And on a Friday, like the 21st, it was, I think, oh my gosh, was it the 60th or 62nd? No, 62nd anniversary of his assassination. And I just can't get enough. Like, I love listening to his old interviews, to his, he was even portrayed in the show Godfather of Harlem, and I loved it. Like, Malcolm was a big part for me why I watched the show. And he also, his daughters, they are suing the NYPD because, when people get older, maybe they feel a little bit remorseful, or they just get scared because death is literally knocking on the door. So there was this man who was at that ballroom that night when Malcolm was assassinated. And mind you, this was not the first assassination attempt. He just survived the others. So this guy spoke up on his deathbed, and he admitted to certain things. So the daughters are suing the NYPD for $100 million or more. And I hope they get their $100 million, because it's not about the money. It's not about anything than justice.
It's the principle.
Exactly. And the principle is so important. Like, some of us have too many. Some of us don't have any.
Too many unsolved crimes for this. For people that it's like they try to shut up, Absolutely. Like it's too many coincidences.
When did you learn about Malcolm X?
I learned in school, in high school, in Bolivia.
In Bolivia, you learned about Malcolm X?
Yes.
For real?
We read a book, yes.
Wow. What did they teach you?
His philosophy, most than anything, the liberation, the respect for human rights, the movement.
Interesting.
But funny enough, he went to Palestine.
He did?
He went to
did.
Palestine. Yeah. But I don't remember reading that part though.
No, I don't think they talked about it. I don't think they talked about it.
I learned that he went to Palestine in 2023. But I know about him since I was 16, 17, yes. And he's a very, very respectful figure in my country.
Wow, this is very interesting. So I learned about Malcolm X at school as well, but as you said, his philosophy, that's why I was curious. But I had to do a school report and I didn't know. I was like, who the hell is this Malcolm X? I don't care about this, right? Then I went and I saw his autobiography and I just fell in love and I couldn't stop. So I went back and I didn't have my report. And the teacher was like, where's your report? I'm like, I'm so sorry, I don't have it. Because what do you mean? I said, I was sidetracked by the book, by his autobiography. I couldn't stop reading.
But also, I was taught about him because I have a very good history teacher. Because I went to a Catholic school, so our information is very limited. But my history teacher was amazing. So I would say that he introduced me to Malcolm X.
Shout out to your history teacher. That's all we have, right?
Yeah, we have friends. I think it was plenty.
Yeah, I think so too. Do we need to address anything? Do we need to do anything? I mean,
okay, yes. To our viewers, I read your comments. I reply to your comments. I know what you want. We're working on it.
What are you?
And how you wish list, guys.
I can't. Listen,
Yeah,
a
very
disclaimer,
important
I
to
have
me.
nothing to do with all of this, right? I don't. I literally don't. Do I?
I do. Yes, you do.
How?
No, she's just playing, guys. We read it together and we had all your requests ready and at work. Actually, if you have any questions for us to discuss in the beginning, please write it in the comments.
Are you already running out?
Yes. I want them to tell me.
Huh?
They have one day to, I don't know, maybe they have something fun or maybe uncomfortable situation that they want us to discuss.
Oh, by the way.
They were very interested on the hormone topic. So that's also on the work.
Listen, this is what happens when you need. Okay, so Maria, the reason why you're actually here, you're supposed to shut me up when I talk too much, and you didn't.
No, I encouraged.
I wasn't supposed to say all of this. This is very yeah.
No, show me your face. No, how you face. No, that was it's a very interesting topic, Ness.
It depends on where you talk about it, who talks about it. So
this is the place. We talk about everything.
Well, within
not everything.
Yeah.
Within reason. Don't put crazy topics in there.
Yeah, because there is some stuff that we shouldn't touch. So I'm very curious, right? So for all those people who were here prior, like the open damage times, there was something I did in an episode. There is a very particular episode, something I did on this episode to see how much attention Nasima and JD, shout out to Nasima and shout out to JD, were paying attention. And I discussed it on the next episode. So this episode, I did something as well to see if Maria pays attention.
Probably not. I had ADHD, remember.
No, I did something. So I'm just pointing it out in case you guys noticed something. And this is only for those who were here during that time and who witnessed all of this. Because I used to do a lot of madness with Nasima and JD. Sometimes I had sometimes some crazy ideas and then I just executed.
Okay.
And today
it's a game.
First time I did it with you.
Okay, I like games. Let's go.
Okay. Well, maybe you can tell me after the episode if you noticed anything that's different today.
The sofa?
No, something to do with me.
With you?
Mm-hmm.
Looking.
It's not necessarily.
The makeup is on point?
No, it's not my makeup.
Yeah. Oh my God. To do with you. It's not your birthday, isn't it?
Okay, so I'm not a birthday person at all. I don't really.
Okay. Me either.
You don't?
No, I don't celebrate my birthday.
I find birthdays cringe. Sorry, but that's just me. I'm weird.
Celebrate my mom. They survived that thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's
You
it.
told me.
No,
Oh,
I'm not
no.
gonna tell you.
Oh my God! Now we're in suspense. But I look at you and I look in. Physically, mentally.
No, it's already happened. It's
Already
happening.
happened?
It's happening the whole time. It's something I
touching
do.
Yeah, you touching your hijab like 20 times.
Continue. What else am I doing?
Touching you, cover your face.
Mm-hmm.
Touching your hijab.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
And continue more.
Oh my God.
That's all I did?
What else you did?
You're very good. I'll give you that. But now you have to find out why I did
Actually, I was going to comment it offline.
Yeah, but why did I did this on purpose. Why? There's a reason.
What is the reason?
Oh my God. Do you know how hard it is to be like, okay, there is a reason. And I did way more than just this.
Oh, you were fidgeting because of me?
Yes. You're so good. Oh my gosh.
You're fidgeting.
I was moving the whole time.
Oh my God.
Yes. And then I was like, yeah.
I was going to bring that out offline. Like, what's wrong with your stuff? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You think that? Yeah, I do that. Yes. I touch my face. Yes.
So the reason why I did that is not because the reason I did that is to show you that whatever, like it's not that serious. Because somebody mentioned it. Somebody mentioned it in the comments because you explained it the last time. And then I just wanted to show you, is it really that bad?
It is bad because it was making me uncomfortable.
It continues. The only thing I didn't do is get up and walk.
Oh, yeah, I did. No, I was going to send you a text like, stop.
It was so funny. And then I would forget, right? And then I would, oh shit, yeah.
Actually, I was putting the minutes down because I wanted to, when we did the podcast, I wanted to promote.
But you were good.
You were making me work extra.
You were
minute
so
25,
good.
she touched her face. Minute.
But you know what? So last time what I did with them is, because they claimed that they pay attention to every detail, right? I came on the podcast and I wore something crazy. Something that was not, this is what I'm saying to you. Like, I don't care. Like, people don't care.
That's another thing that I had to worry with my therapist because I do care. If you see me, I reply to almost every single comment.
No, but that's for now. That's for now. When they get like overwhelming, obviously this can't be done. But what I'm saying is, you have to really not care. Like, I wore something crazy that was so not fitting together. It was color-wise, absolutely a no-go. And these people
what did they say?
They didn't say anything. No. Yeah. And when I told them, I said, so you guys are such liars and you're such hypocrites and you think too much of yourselves when you say you pay attention to all the details, but you're not going to say anything. And then they were like, yeah. When I told them, what do you mean? So when I told them, they're like, yeah, I saw that, but I thought it was on purpose. Yeah, whatever, right?
Because I would have been like, Ness, you have 5 minutes to change.
It was really crazy. Oh my gosh, it's such a shame I can't find the episode to show you how crazy it was. It was literally crazy.
It is on the internet. I can't find it.
It's not anymore. It was taken down. So.
Oh my God. Nothing gets deleted. To the people listening and watching that, nothing that you post on the internet is deleted. Let's make a bet. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, well, listen, we have another bet that we need to finish first. Okay.
One bet at a time.
Yeah. But that one we can't share, guys. Okay. That's a secret.
She's going to lose badly.
Oh, you're going to lose. I promise you, because you know what? Yeah. I have more evidence.
More evidence? Oh, wow.
Because I thought about it. I went into detail of this conversation. But anyways, that's not. People are gonna start investigating.
Now the comments are gonna go crazy. What is she talking about? Now we need to see.
Exactly.
Okay.
So thank you for tuning in, guys. We're time to go. We have to figure out.
Thank you, guys. See you in the comments. Bye.
Absolutely, and see you next week, right?
See you next week for sure.
Do we have a guest for next week? No, we don't. Guys, it's just us. Live with it.
We may have.
No.
Yes,
I said
yes,
no.
Yes.
No.
Surprise.
Next week, no. We can't.
Why?
Because you just can't.
Okay, guys, I try.
Okay. No, yeah. The week after, maybe. Let's see. We're going to have some interesting guests. As Maria said, we're speaking to she is more speaking to some interesting people. I don't speak to people, so yeah. I don't know anyone. I don't speak to people. No, jokes aside now. We have to go. Have a beautiful week or rest of the week, and we'll see you next time, inshallah.
Bye.